Well, good day everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Gator Wesley Bio. Today on the show we have Kaitlin Bailey. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, no problem. So let's go ahead and start by having you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 19. I'm a sophomore in Orlando, and my entire existence is dependent on caffeine. I really like coffee and Mountain Dew. I have probably the world's cutest cat. His name is Thor. He's like 14 weeks old, so he's precious. I like Harry Potter movies and Disney movies and binge watching Netflix, and I really like hiking and outdoor things.
So where do you come from?
I come from a small town outside of Orlando called Oviedo, Jeff Driscoll's hometown. It's not really something to brag about anymore, but yeah, that's where I grew up. Famous for our chickens, just run around downtown.
So how was it like growing up in Oviedo?
It was fun. I had a pretty good childhood. We did a lot of like outdoor stuff growing up. We were like really close to like a river. We could go kayaking, and we lived really close to like mountain bike trails and stuff like that. So I got to do a lot of fun outdoor things as a kid, which was awesome.
So tell us a little bit about your early education.
Early education. I went to elementary school. Like where I went to elementary school, my mom was actually a teacher there, so that was kind of interesting because she would have like teacher parties on the weekend. So I would like see my PE teacher like dancing on my living room table and singing karaoke badly. So that was interesting. No, my high school was pretty like typical high school. I like dedicated 4 years of my life to yearbook basically. I like skipped class all the time just to work on the yearbook. That was like my entire high school life. I spent most of my weekends in high school with my best friends just like watching Disney movies. So yeah, that was.
So you said you were involved with yearbook club, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do with that?
Everything. It was crazy. Like I would take pictures and interview people and write stories and essentially stalk people. Like I would just meet people at school and like interview them and then be like, I'm coming over to your house today and taking pictures of you. I met one guy, I did a story on this guy who was filming his own remake of Batman to post on YouTube, and I had to get pictures, so I met him like late at night by myself in a parking garage so I could take pictures of this guy like jumping around in a Batman costume. So it was an interesting experience. Very little sleep. I was like constantly working on the yearbook.
Sounds like you were involved. Did you do any other extracurricular activities, band, haiku, anything like that?
My first few years I did cross country for a while, but like I did cross country. It was more like my friends and I would like jog around, go to the playground, or we used to like, my coach would be like, okay, go run somewhere for 50 minutes. And my friends and I would go like find a playground and we would like play on the playground for 50 minutes and then like jog back. So I didn't take it very seriously, but it was fun. I met a lot of cool people. So
Let's go and back up a little bit and tell us about your family a little bit. You got any brothers, sisters?
My family, I have a brother who's 17. He's going to turn 18 actually in April, which is scary. And my mom is an elementary school teacher, and my dad is an engineer.
So how was it like growing up in that family?
It was fun. I have a really fun family. Like we're pretty laid back. My parents aren't super strict. We did a lot of like crazy things growing up. A lot of like outdoor things. A lot of like really fun family vacations. Like my dad's thing was like, my dad really loves national parks, So like once a year he would take like 3 weeks off of work, and we would just like go to a national park somewhere and like backpack and camp and hike and stuff like that. So we've done like Glacier and Yellowstone and Grand Canyon, stuff like that. So.
Do you have any one particular family vacation that kind of sticks out in your mind?
Our trip to Glacier was cool, and that's one that I remember. But one thing that's kind of cool, when I was like 6 years old, we took a trip from Florida to Wyoming to go to Yellowstone, and my parents like packed up our minivan and like threw a pop-up camper on the back, and we just drove for like weeks. We would just stop and camp in different places along the way, and then we spent like a solid like 2 weeks in Yellowstone and then drove back to Florida. And I don't really remember it because I was like 6, but it was cool because I went back to Yellowstone this summer, and hopefully someday if I ever have kids I can like take the same trip and show them Yellowstone. It's pretty cool because my grandma took my dad on the same trip when he was a kid. It's kind of like a family tradition to like drive a ridiculously long time to get to Yellowstone.
Sounds like you have a very interesting dynamic in your family. And so after high school, you decided to go ahead and go to the University of Florida, correct?
Yes.
And exactly what made you choose the University of Florida?
I don't really know. My mom went to FSU, so she wasn't like super happy about the choice. And I got into both FSU and UF. And I didn't tell my mom that I got into UF for a while. And I still hadn't decided on a school yet. And we had like this like honors ceremony where I had to like walk on stage, and like I was presented with like an honors certificate or something, and they announced to the audience what school I was going to, and I had to choose. So I said University of Florida, and that's what they announced to my family, who like didn't even know I'd gotten in. So that's how I told my seminal mother that I was going to the University of Florida. So yeah, she wasn't like super happy, but she's gotten over it now.
And so here at UF, what have you decided to major in?
Right now my major is exercise physiology, but that's probably gonna change. We'll see. I'm kind of at like a major change crisis point in my life, but I'm only a sophomore. I have time, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got plenty of time. Well, what do you hope to do?
That's a good question. I'm open to suggestions at this point. I don't really know. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. But I'd really like to just take like a gap year to 5 years and just travel and not have to worry about school or a job or anything. But I don't think that's realistic, so we'll see.
And upon coming to UF, you decided to get involved in an organization called the Gator Wesley Foundation, correct?
Yes.
And can you go and tell some of our viewers who may or may not know exactly what the Gator Wesley Foundation is and what it means to you?
Well, it's a Methodist student ministry at the University of Florida, but to me, it's more like a home and a family. So I came to college not really knowing anyone, like no one. There were like 3 people from my hometown that came to UF, and I like didn't know them very well. So I kind of like came on my own. And I showed up here one day, and just everyone was super welcoming and kind, and I made my best friends here. So.
And how long have you been going to the Gator Wesley, and how have you gotten involved?
I've been coming for about a year. I think I came like 2 months into the fall semester my freshman year, so it's been about a year. How am I involved? I'm just here all the time. I'm on missions team. I'm the purple person, one of the purple people for missions. I get to plan all of the awesome service stuff that we do at Wesley, like Hope Lodge and visiting nursing homes and stuff like that. So that's exciting. Yeah, I basically just like live here. I'll just show up and do homework here and get sucked into talking to people and stay for hours, so pretty involved.
And where do you see Gator Wesley going in the future?
I don't know. I like where it is now. I would like to see more people get involved with mission stuff. which is kind of like a goal of mine for this year. Maybe like bring some more new people in. That'd be nice. But yeah.
Alright, and we're getting to the end of our show, and I want to go ahead and thank you again for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. And with the last few moments, is there anything you'd like to tell people that they should know or should already know about you?
About me, you can buy my love with chocolate and caffeine. That's probably it.
Alrighty, well, thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
And this has been the Gator Wesley Bios, produced by James Jordan and produced on location at the Gator Wesley Foundation, which is a campus ministry of the United Methodist Church that services the University of Florida and Santa Fe College. Tune in next time when we have more stories, more people, and more Gator Wesley Bios. Thank you and good day.